feeling the vibrational contrast in 5 that gives you the clarity to clarify your ask to then move to step 3 and receive?
Say that again. Because it made sense, but it was wrong. So say it again.
Isn't it about feeling the vibration? So you do an ask, you receive, you enjoy, you do. Then you feel some vibrational contrast, and then you know you want to go into step 1 again and do a new ask. So isn't that vibrational contrast vital and good?
Well, helpful, but that really wasn't what you were describing to us here. In other words, this is sort of your way of justifying. In other words, we do like it when you trip over the thought and you feel negative emotion again, that you understand that you are clarifying it. But so many of you are making an art of step 1. You just keep going back to step 1 and back to step 1. And then we've given you a little reason to justify it by saying, well, you are clarifying and you are clarifying. But really, friends, it's time to clean up your vibration. It's time to clean up your vibration. It's time to stop making excuses about negative emotion. It's time to focus upon the thoughts that feel good, period. It's time for that. Because the other stuff just comes to you. You don't have to go looking for trouble. It will find you by the residual vibration that you've got going on. But what you're doing here, don't take this the wrong, well, take it how we mean it. You're taking your laziness or sloppy thought about a subject, and then you're justifying it by saying, but isn't that step 5?
Oh, I hear it.
And that's different. In other words, that's looking for trouble and then defending the trouble by saying, well, it's part of the process. There's a big difference between that and working to clean up your vibration and feeling pretty good and then stumbling over it and realizing, oh, there is something there. When you don't go looking for it and it shows itself to you, that's a natural vibration that's coming on the heels of what your vibrational pattern is. But when you go looking for it, that's an entirely different.
We like that you have past that is not as wonderful as what you prefer. We want it to always be that way. We want every single thing that you've ever lived, no matter how great it was, no matter how many people were cheering for you, no matter how young and beautiful you think you were at the time, no matter what, we want what is past to be less delicious than the now. And we promise you that it can be that way when you get the hang of this now what. Now what, universe, are you going to surprise me with in terms of timing and details that's a match to the preparation that I've made? Because this morning I awakened and I sat with my grid and I had 16 spots that I was going to find an emotional word to stick in, and I wrote what I wanted to feel. I wrote ease. And then I felt what that means to me. And then I wrote kind. And I felt what that means to me. And then I wrote fun. And I felt what that means to me. And then I wrote love. And I felt what that means to me. And then I wrote sure. And I felt what that means to me. And then I wrote, 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 and then I wrote. And by the time I'd written 12 or 16 or 20 words, and I felt what it means to me. I felt what fun means. I felt what sure means. I felt what clear means. I felt what full means. I felt what vitality means. I felt what exhilaration means. I felt what happy means. The words are meaningful to me, and they are triggers. They are vibrational triggers for me. And they are big words, and they are general enough. And as I wrote them and felt them this morning first thing, and wrote them and felt them this morning first thing, and wrote them and felt them, I have established, universe, I'm giving you my awareness, I have established a grid that must fill in with details that are vibrationally same as that. So I expect fun today, and I expect to be kind and to find kind. I expect to feel love and to receive love. I expect to be clear and to be with those who are. I expect good timing jokes to arrive for me. I expect the punchline to knock me over because it is so appropriate to what I've been living. I expect to flow through traffic, and I expect to feel like a partner with all of the co-creators on the freeways and on the backways. I expect
Yes.
I expect manifestation in kind.
That's right.
To the grid work that I have accomplished. Because I understand that like water flows downhill, there is a law and a momentum. And tomorrow I will write it again. And tomorrow I will fill in the details with my memory of what happened today that matched those things. I will use every excuse in the world to shore up my vibration of love, my vibration of fun, my vibration of kind, my vibration of well-being, my vibration. I will shore up those vibrations, meaning I will make them active within me, because I have the ability to focus in this enlightened way on thoughts that are meaningful to me. I will create a vibrational grid, and I will take notice with every detail, every specific detail that will flow into my experience today. And I will be going, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. As I watch the universe support me in its awareness of me, in its love of me, as I revel in the goodness of me, of the rightness of me, of the good timing of me, of the perfect timing of me, of the well-being of me, I'm going to revel in the evidence of all of that goodness coming to me, coming to me, coming to me, coming to me. And like our friend, I'm going to move through life radiating this signal that makes people see me. They don't know why they're seeing me. What's going on with that guy? I want some of that. I don't even know what it is, but I want some of that. I want some of that, you see. And then, the rendezvous with the thoughts and ideas, the rendezvous with the producers and directors, the rendezvous with the people who have the money and the others who have the ideas, the rendezvous with the life partners, the rendezvous with everything that is necessary. The rendezvous will flow, not at the wrong time, at the right time, not at an awkward time, at a perfect time, not at a time when you don't have time to comprehend it and receive it fully, but a time when you do have time to take it in fully. And in other words, you have a universe that is catering to you. You have a concierge in the sky that knows who you are and what you want and where everything that you want is and where you stand in relationship to everything you want. You have those who know with precision what the next logical step for you is and who will guide you to the thought that will allow it, you see. We've called this gathering the art of allowing for a long time. And the reason we do is because we want you to understand that what allowing really is no longer doing that thing that holds you out of the vortex. In other words, allowing really implies, we want you to hear this fully, the vortex will take you in unless you're doing something that doesn't allow that. So the art of allowing is the art of letting go enough that the vortex will take you in. But what it really requires is knowing what being in the vortex feels like and deliberately practicing that vibration. Earlier we said, if you're watching CNN or one of the news channels and you're watching it through the evening and you're seeing a repeat of what's going wrong in the world and you're staying tuned to it long enough, it will tune it. You are then allowing your vibration to be tuned to a lower frequency. You're practicing the lower frequency vibration. If you will allow yourself to be in the vortex will tune you. Here's a better way of saying it. The vortex will train your vibration upwards. So every moment that you spend there, especially every conscious moment, every moment that you are feeling some relief from negative emotion, every moment that you are feeling an improved emotion is you allowing the vortex to train your frequency upward. So we've been talking about this vortex, which is summoning you. And if you don't dig in, it will call you into hope. And by the time it has called you to hope, the vortex will take you in. So what we're suggesting to you, because as we feel you here in this room, your vortex can take you in if you will allow it. So how might you allow it? Well, the first thing is, notice when you're in and try to milk it. In other words, when you find yourself in the vortex, be as general in your thinking as you can be. Because the more general you are, the less resistant you will be. When you really think about it, when you ponder those deepest, darkest moments that you've ever been in, don't go there, but just theoretically follow us here.
you have become really specifically, almost obsessively focused upon something that just took you further and further and further from who you are. So the first really helpful rule of thumb to get into the vortex is when you find yourself feeling negative emotion of any kind, no matter how negative it is, say to yourself, go general, go general, go general. Say to yourself, go general, and step back from it and say to yourself something like, this too shall pass. Or say something like, all in all, things are going pretty well. In other words, the more general you can become, the more ease you will feel right now. Because we promise you, and this is the point that we want to get across to you like you've never heard it before, you are not ever going to wrestle your problem or your problem maker to the ground and make them stop. It defies all law. The more you focus on the problem, the bigger it's going to be, but even more important, the more stuck to it you are going to be. So you got to go general, and you're going to discover as you go general that as you get general, as you get general, as you get general, very general. Oh, the sun came up this morning. That's such a good thing. And I'm still breathing. That's a wonderful thing. Now we know you think that's silly because it's so general and off the point you're trying to make. But if you will stop trying to make the point you're trying to make, the vortex will take you back in. Now, this is the wonderful thing about the vortex. The vortex knows everything you specifically want about all the things you specifically don't want. In other words, all the specifics are in the vortex. You just can't get to the specifics of them when you're tied to the specifics of their opposite. Does that make sense? So by going general, by clearing your mind, by breathing deeply, by focusing on something else, by going general, the vortex will take you in. And as you do it again and again, and you allow the vortex to take you in, the vortex will train, it is our promise to you, your frequency upward to match the frequency of all of those specifics that you have already incrementally been putting into your vortex, sometimes over a long period of time. Sometimes the stuff you just put there yesterday or 10 minutes ago. And as you allow your frequency to raise, the specifics of that vortex will begin to reveal themselves to you. It will feel to you that you've turned around on a dime. It will feel to you that now all that has been promised is coming. But what really will have happened is you will have let go of the specifics that have been holding you out, allowed the general to take you in, and with practice, you will allow the vortex to train you into the frequency of all that you are, of all that you want, of all that you deserve, of all that's there for you. And those who know you, who are watching you, will say, what is this transformation? You seem to feel so good. And you will reply, I do. And they will say, and you seem to be getting everything you want, no wonder you feel so good. And you will say, I felt good, and then the things came. I'm not feeling good in response to the things coming. That was the flawed premise that I was going on for so many years. I thought I'd wait for my luck to turn, and then I'd have a celebratory party. Now I understand I have to have the celebration first, and then my luck.